kindly introduce yourself briefly, sister? Your name kindly?
Sir, my name is Vandana and I am from Rajasthan.
Rajasthan?
Yes, sir.
Then?
Sir, my name is Prateek Jain. I am from Uttar Pradesh, sir.
So my name is Priyamada. I am from Mumbai.
Mumbai.
So I am Sri Sastri. I am from Delhi.
Delhi? Huh?
Delhi.
Delhi. Then?
Sir, I am Satya from Hyderabad.
From?
Hyderabad, Telangana.
Hyderabad.
Sir, I am Dr. Ramakrishna from Darshan.
Doctor? Stethoscope?
Sir, Darshan Goyal, I am from Agra, Uttar Pradesh. I am Rahman, I am from Kolkata.
Raghvendra? Meena? So Lokina and Meena, you know him? There have been so many Meenas here, huh? So,
I
that
don't know.
group is very strong. That's plan I should say. Very, at least one or two always available.
Yes, the three of them.
IAS or IPS, we have seen. You have monopolized. So here, is there any Meena? For you too? Oh, from the same place?
Almost.
Sir, myself, Kitchen Park,
From? Madhya Pradesh. Which part? Which?
Sir, they are placed near Jhansi.
Just. Then?
Sir, I am Samir Jain from Delhi.
Delhi.
So I am Ayushi from Delhi.
Sir, I am Yashwant Kumar Reddy from Andhra Pradesh.
Jammu.
I am Muhammad Shubi, I am from Delhi.
Jammu Kashmir.
I am Amit from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Sir, Naresh from Telangana.
From?
Telangana.
Telangana.
Sir, I am Zenit Chandra from Telangana.
Telangana.
I am Dr. Sharad, with stethoscope from Hyderabad.
From?
Sharad.
From Hyderabad.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I am Rajat from Punjab.
Sir, I am Pooja Sahu from Chhattisgarh.
From?
Chhattisgarh.
Chhattisgarh.
Sir, I am Karthikeyan from Madhya Pradesh.
Thank you. And there you guide, huh? Thank you. You do? So good morning. First of all, I congratulate all of you on your brilliant success. So this is the most coveted desire among our youth to be in this service, and we have reached it, and really you deserve to be congratulated. And especially we have two doctors, accomplished doctors. They revealed their preference for IAS, for administration services. It's not a matter of joke. Many of you might be, say, serving, might be, say, in some lucrative jobs, otherwise lucrative jobs, I should say. You have, So I want to tell you about our great organization and the personalities behind it, especially Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. Sri Ramakrishna himself was a man of universal faith. He didn't establish any sect or any religious view. He rather lived all faiths and declared that all faiths are valid paths. I tell you that was needed. And still now we need that. Because we know the results of a faith which is parochial. full of superstitions and ego. And when suddenly you are confident, you will have to rise above all these prejudices, isn't it? You have to respect all faiths and value perfectly. And that is truth, and truth only. You are the prophets of all faiths. They are never till now, well, I won't say where, they are never till today. They are not any false teachers. We have to listen. And Sri Ramakrishna was born in Kamalpur, a remote village of Hooghly district in West Bengal. Some of you might have heard. He came over to Calcutta in search of people say job, but not that. In search of higher learning. But he declared that I won't have any bread-winning learning. I am meant for God and nothing else. He came to Calcutta with his elder brother. But elder brother could not persuade him to go for toll. During those days, toll education was almost rampant. And there was no this graded form of education, primary, secondary, it is especially in Bengal. He was always found very much better. You need to go for the tool education. His elder brother accepted the job of a priest in the temple of Bhavat or Kali on the eastern bank of the Ganga, Darshan. That temple was constructed by one low caste widow. She was a queen, used to be called queen, Rani Darshan. Ramkumar Chakravarti, Sri Ramakrishna's elder brother, or eldest brother, he was very liberal and intelligent to give a verdict that if the Rani, the queen, Raspani, made a gift of the temple to a Brahmin, then this deity would be offered for Rajya. Otherwise not. Because Orthodox Pandits, they were vehemently resisting. The view being a low caste, you won't be able to offer food, this and that. And no, I just Brahmin would be available to do the worship. But he accepted with this condition, and it was done. I tell you, here is Mr. R.S. Banerjee,
Bandhopadhyay.
or R.S. Bandhopadhyay, sorry, R.S. Bandhopadhyay.
Banerjee and Bandhopadhyay are same. But certificate name is Bandhopadhyay, so you will know me as Bandhopadhyay, IAS.
A type of derogatory idea involved in Banerjee, we say it is bigoto energy, spent of force. We don't say that, you know, any of these Bandhopadhyay, R.S. Bandhopadhyay, he retired from Delhi. from huh?
Secretary Minister of Corporate.
Secretary Minister of Corporate Affairs. So he will be addressing after me, and you will learn some practical things from him. Then at the days of his brother, Sri Ramakrishna took over. He had the vision of Mother Kali in the form of the light first. And as his vision became right, he used to have the vision of the mother, goddess mother, in person, in the form of a little girl. But later on, he moved on to practice Islam and Vaishnava Shastras, Vaishnava way of approaching Godhead, some Tantra approach of Godhead. He had the vision of Muhammad, Christ, both of them disappeared in person. They were interestingly, he went for the sadhana according to Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta. This is of much interest to all of you who ask even, because it is that which is devoid of any form, formless aspect of God. That is Vedanta. Usually it is called Jnana Yoga. You do not have to fall back upon any temple, any personal beauty, this and that. Your only asset or capital is your own soul brain. With that you analyze what is real in this world for you. And it is very scientific approach. And that is succeeded also. Then he declared that all faiths are valid paths. The statement is very sonorous. As many paths, so many faiths. But we had so many prophets establishing so many faiths, inimical to one another. And that is the problem facing by each and every protagonist of humanity. Mind that. We are all very good lovers of humanistic philosophy. And those who love for it, who have love for mankind, they scrupulously avoid any religious, their own, even visit. They are secular by nature. They have man only, they do not have God in that manner. They avoid it. On the other hand, the followers of sex, they avoid man and pick out God in any form, with form, without form, and in a way in between. Swamiji appeared in the scene and said, you see, wherever you stand, you do not have to be very much upset. Whatever you are doing, you are trying. Truth only you are serving. With form, without form, or in between. Because with form, when you serve, you are conscious of your body. We have truth in body. We all know that our body has to be properly maintained. And whatever we have to attain through our body. So you have no right to say that body is all. But if you feel that body alone is true and nothing else in us is true, then you are mistaken. So I am giving you the quintessence. I am just making the service of the entire philosophical delivery in a very succinct way. Very, very condensed. So when you go to sleep and dream, you are not conscious of your body. Body is lying on the bed sleep. Okay? You dream. And in dream you have the vision of so many things and sight of so many things. You see. How do you see? Through your own mind. How do you come out of your body and move about in the world? You do not have the answer. Mind that you have a mind. The greatest proof that you have a mind is that you dream. In dream you separate your mind from your body. Body lies on the bed sheet. All the doors and windows are closed from you, and you move out. Which part of it? It is mind. You create a new world and enjoy it and suffer. You dream. But while dreaming, all you see is true. In dream. But later on, when you wake up, you feel that yes, these are all false. The truths that you see in the waking state are true only in the waking state. And truth you see in dream state, they are true only in the dream state. But sometimes you will feel in dream that here is my body life. Every day. That means you, at least you dream feel that you have a body and you are not the body. But in the waking state, you are mixed up. Body-mind complex mixed up. This is a great truth. We are not conscious of it. Find that. So you have to give food to your body. But never exhaust your energy in nourishing your body alone. You have a mind. You must not keep it. You have to give food to your mind. Proper food to your mind. What is that? Can you tell me? Does that? How can you give food to your mind? Yes, reading a good book. But why only reading? Huh?
Thinking is better.
Why not other things? Why thinking alone and reading? Meditation? No, not that right now. Okay, tell me, you are on the line. I'll catch you there. Very nice. Huh? Why not producing? Why not writing a book? You are reading and writing and thinking of the ideas of other people. So you have to develop. You have to make some literary pursuit. Why not? You may be a man of or woman of literature. You are interested in literature. You can become great even. You can even be great. Don't think that you have education only from the universities and colleges. There are so many other special institutes to teach you some art, culture, but which are painting, sculpture, writing poems, articles, novels, dramas, and music. Music is a great field for us to feed our mind. Is there any singer? Love for music? Anybody? Anybody having love for?
These are all serious students, that's why
No.
We have your
There are doctors over there. Two doctors are here.
doctors are also serious in the profession.
No, seriously. You have to develop this. You don't feel that your mind remains evacuated. No. Okay? So you have to love music. For example, I give you one example. So there is a raga, very famous raga, Malla. Huh? You have heard. There are as many as 10 varieties of mallas. 10. You have to be very much careful in isolating each genre. So how much subtle power you have to develop in mind so that you can segregate all these separate. You can shift, shift all the others. We feel that every singing is everything is no. Those who know what that is. Those who have that just mind. They understand. And also sports and games. Sachin Tendulkar didn't have formal education. You do have. And you may be proud of becoming an IAS officer. Yes. And you will be earning a lot. Compared to Sachin's earning, your earning would be no bad. They didn't have any education. That does not mean that you are not educated. Rabindranath Tagore didn't have any education, but he developed. But he set up schools, colleges and universities. This is the first area of English. And we have a very deeply important concept, culture. So civilization is for body, maintenance of body, physical development. So you will be concerned with the physical development of the country. Do you follow me? You have to eradicate poverty. You have to introduce schemes, development plans and programs. It is all for having a high civilization, meaning that you have to have high mass content. We have to have even questions. We have to have almost full employment in the country. We have to take plans and programs. These are all, but in the midst of these, have you seen that some amount has been earmarked, kept aside for the development of culture, to feed mind is culture. Culture makes you man of imagination. So that is the function of mind. You have a mind, you have to feed. So all the Dvaita philosophies center down body. God as a body, I am a body. I am his son. Bhakti Yoga, beloved. Was Krishna. Christianity and Islam do not have, these two faiths do not have this physical aspect of the base. It is based on mind. Do you think that mind is a higher state of your existence than your body? Do you know? Do you accept it? Mind being very, very subtle. It is subtler than your body. Then obviously your mind, whatever you see in mind, is of much durability. It is durable. It is not ephemeral. So whatever you do in aesthetics will last for long. Anyway, this is one. And if that be so, then you are caught. So whatever you saw in dream last night, has not been all false. Because that was the function of the play of your mind. You have to respect whatever you see. All unfruitful desires are fulfilled. If you can have control over mind, you can control your dream as well. So Visishta Advaita, Advaita being qualified, which makes use of mind. Islam and Christianity, these two faiths are grouped. Visishta Advaita group deals with mind, rest on mind. The stress, meditation, this and that. You brother, you have been telling about meditation. It doesn't come here. When you are in deep sleep, that is when there is no dream dreamless state of your existence, the deep sleep. I request you to have the knowledge, at least rudimentary knowledge of these three concepts. Your body, your mind, at least, and then comes spirit. In the waking state you live in body, in the dream state you live in mind, but in deep sleep state you live in spirit. Because your mind is not present. Mind is a feeling faculty. But since you are not experiencing anything in deep sleep, you are sleeping like a log. It means that you are not conscious in environment. And you as an IAS officer cease to exist. We cannot carry on our individuality, individual traits. Mind that. Up to the deep sleep state. We cease to be individuals. We are one with all. When you are in deep sleep, when you are in the waking state, we are all different. She is different from her. She is different from you as physical body. But in mind, that differences gradually accumulate, falling off. But in deep sleep state, we are all one. We are all one. That is our real nature. That is so much. So they have quantified it, how to have so much. So if you can fix your mind, fix up your mind in a particular object or an idea for 12 seconds, you have one dharana. One dharana. Holding your mind on a subject for 12 seconds makes one dharana. Such 12 dharanas will produce one dhyan. That is 144 seconds. You have to keep your mind fixed. Idea. This will happen. You try. After a day's work, previous work, if you take to the corner of your room, or mosque or temple, if you cannot do that, then you make some arrangement in your room. The room if you have to spare. You have to make your mind understand what it wants. So 144 seconds you have to fix your mind on a particular object or idea. This is one time. And such 12 grammars will produce one samadhi. One samadhi means in the deep sleep state you are lost in spirit. That is no samadhi. Still samadhi. But that is attained without any effort, isn't it? You are tired and you return to the bed and you are waiting. Deep sleep. That's all. But no, when you are in the waking state, if that be our real nature, I will have to concentrate my mind, control my mind to attain that state. The process is this, the other way. So there is no God, godliness, nothing. The question of belief or faith. But you do practice it. You practice. You have to do it. is a part of your living. You make it way of your living. You live better human beings. So you are one. Yeah. There is no difference between a man and a woman. No difference between a sacred and a prophet. Sinner and a saint. There is no difference between rich and poor. No difference between the learned and the ignorant. No difference between the plantation world and you. No difference between the animate and inanimate objects. I am all with you. So you get to your own real nature in deep sleep. That you get without any effort, but you have to realize that with efforts. You sit for meditation the way I just described. For 12 seconds, you start with 12 seconds and energy 154. Then by single leap you have to go 1728 seconds, almost 28 minutes you are lost in sorrow. That is, you are not conscious of your existence as body and mind. Mind is a feeling faculty. If it is absent, there is no feeling. I am not asking you to go to that state and enjoy. To the administer by being administered some anesthetics. When you need to be operated upon, then the doctor should administer anesthetics, isn't it? Huh? Because that is, you are transported to a land of mindlessness. You won't understand. You won't feel anything. But in deep sleep, it is also so. The Sri Ramakrishna, and the slightest provocation means if somebody sends rapturous something, be lost in meditation, deep meditation, and so on. Then there is the cultivation of science. But C.V. Raman worked, became a Nobel laureate. That institute has been set up by Dr. Mandan also. He was also the doctor of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was being tested by this doctor when he was in deep meditation. He used to pour his fingers into the holes of his eyes. He put some live charcoal on his person. That was the fever. And he became a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna had to pass through all these stages. He was waiting, Krishna waiting. And he was a Christian. And when he practiced Islam, he used to observe every beat of spiritual practices enjoined by the Quran. The Muslim people used to visit him, Christians used to come. That is, he didn't please any particular sect, he belongs to all. And Swamiji picked up this idea, and when he declared the very tenets of the Sanatana Dharma, Vedanta Dharma, Chicago Parliament of Brilliance in 1893. He elaborated this for long 4 years. Everybody came back after attending the great conference, the Parliament of Brilliance. He remained there to teach this. And the result is the worldwide movement of Ramakrishna and Ramakrishna. People. Now the practical aspect of it. That when you feel that you are in deep sleep, you become one with all. You become one with all. You are no different from others. The concept of multiplicity, of plurality, that is many, that is no longer tenable. You cannot carry it alone. So that aspect, that experience of yours, that you have always in deep sleep, be thoughtful on that idea. Be thoughtful, please. Seriously. I am going to serve people who are different from me, actually, superficial, but actually, no, not that. I have to feel everything through his or her heart. Very serious. You have to feel oneness and so on. There are others' sufferings, other sorrows, and my joy. So in deep sleep, we feel one with the universe. It's all good. Not ego, non-duality. It lends support to what? Morality. Why should I be moral? Ethical. Do you know the difference between morality and ethics? Do you know? All the moral issues, when these are put together and made a subject for learning, it is called ethics. Ethics is the subject that we study. Morality, we leave that. I feel for you. You are not different from me. So while serving people, you must feel that they are my own. You are directly going to serve them, but those who are teachers. Even they, while teaching, they will feel that the students are sitting before you. They are no different from me. They are their gods. Because in deep spirit, it is always divine. We carry this spirit within, that's why we are all divine. Not that we are all sinners, all prophets. We are all divine. You get me? You have to serve them. You have to weep that you cannot eradicate from them the problems they are suffering from. The businessman, his attitude would be to serve his people only. It is not for what I can call experts. You have to serve them, worship them as gods and goddesses. Instead, if you just exploit them in the name of business, you will have a very bad repercussion on your own person. You cannot avoid it. You are sure to receive suffering. It will then come back to you. That's why we have to be careful. Advaita philosophy, you keep it. This leads to the widespread program of service launched by Ramakrishna mission everywhere. And that way, if we can serve them with this activity, be sure that along with their betterment, you are going upwards. You are moving forward, upward, towards developing your own spiritual life. So welfare of society through your service would be just a byproduct. You yourself would be enlightened. You become a better person. Always. Service, that is most important. There are no two. So plural form of I, what? You. Is it true? Huh? Can you get two persons alike and add together to get two? Never. Then how can you get two? I am one. I am one. Even 300 million crores of I would not produce food. I am one. You are also one. But Tamasi and Aham Brahmas. I am the spirit, you are the spirit. You are the spirit. So while serving others, you feel that myself in the form of that fellow is coming to receive help from me. But I can simply to fold it up, worship, respect for her, and do whatever you can. That way, you become deified. And that's why Swami Vivekananda's philosophy is that when a man worships the Lord in the churches, in the mosques, in the temples, he is religious, because he is religious. But when a man serves, people, they become God and God. The worshipper of the temple or church or mosque is a religious person. He accepts it. But when you serve people, you become God. That deification, spiritualizing everyday life, it is not only for us. And occupation, thereby, your any form of occupation has converted into the meeting ground of the divine and human. Whatever you do at the occupational level, you feel whom they call human beings, they are all gods and goddesses present. And they are present before you and ourselves. So this attitude you have to bring everywhere. I am. while serving them, I am serving the divine. So divine and human, they are on the same platform. And it is occupation that has become the meeting ground. Discussion is this practical. This objectivity has to be made practical. It is not that we the sadhus who do that. And that's why your authorities have sent you to us. To say a few words on this very particular issue. Very particular issue. Don't be fanatic. Don't be obstinate. Open mind. You must not distinguish between man and man from the point of view of religion or caste. Try to do that. Because ultimately we are all one. Deeply, we are one with our real nature. Gradually we are proceeding from body to mind. Body is physical, all. It is physical mental state in the dream, and ultimately non-physical reality. This is the quintessence of the religious views of all faiths. And you do belong. You must not say even that I have no faith. No. You say that all faiths are right. That way you see the sentence. If you feel that yes, I have particular faith of my own, and they are not given to that, so I will discriminate in my belief. So do you need to know more in elaboration? No. Will you do that? Kindly, I request this golden man that you analyze your own life. Jagrat, Sapna and Sushupti. And this being the truth, you feel proud that you have been chosen by the Lord, by the divine, to serve these people who are your alter egos. They are yours and yours only. Atmokogmeni sarvattu samam pasati yogino sukham bhadati vaditam savayogi sarvam. You have to look upon others' sufferings and happiness as your own. Then you become you. Nothing else. That is the conclusion of the discussion. This is the only faith that you have put yourself. You have to spend 3 days in a row without food. You know what after hunger you go. Now after having food, after 3 days, you are sitting somewhere. And in your house maybe, and someone says, "Oh, Master, I didn't have food till now. I feel very hungry." So you say, "Go away," because you know what is hunger for. This is most important. You have to feed your people around, those who are without food, because you know what hunger is. If you are to come across some people suffering from some diseases, you have to make provisions for her treatment. Because you know how difficult it is to deal with the disease. They have the money. You have to collect money if you don't have. Similarly, some of your, say, neighbors may have some intelligent students, girl or, say, boy, both. Your own children, they are having some good schools for study. They are very much intelligent. The results. Quite encouraging. What would be your service to us? You have to make it. So if equality or some society will not be brought about by any person, by any revolution. Even this is not the task of the government, any government. Anna, Vastra, Astra, Shiksha, and Hero, Avas. These are the 5 things we need. And the whole of the world is suffering from these 5 things. They cannot provide to their citizens through their collective efforts, through their individual efforts. Because people are becoming careless about the environment. Please see that in your locality nobody remains unfed. Nobody remains untreated. Nobody remains uneducated. Nobody remains, say, I won't say illiterate. Nobody remains indoors having a brilliant intellect. You have to face it. What you like, you have to understand for others. With these few words, I leave up and I say feel for others. You are blessed in a sense that you have the chance to serve people in major way. And you have to approach with this feeling heart. Feel for others. Because Darshan know different. Now I request Mr. Haris Mohammed from PU.
After this very unique lecture from Swami Shubhananandaji, I don't think anything much is left for our young colleagues to learn from any other persons. He told you that you are blessed to join the IAS. I feel you are double blessed that in the beginning of your career you have come to an institution like this and heard this extremely philosophical lecture in a very lucid style. I am sure that throughout your life, particularly when you will remain SPO and collector, you will have some opportunity to implement a part of this philosophy in your day-to-day activities. If you can do that thing, you will be really blessed. Let me introduce myself. I am a 74 IAS batch. Of course, many of you were not born at that time, I'm sure. So I joined IAS in 74 at Mussoorie. So is it your second phase or first phase? First phase. But you have been allotted cadre?
Yes, sir.
All of you are there. But you are basically from which part of the country? From South India?
Not singing from Bengal.
No, that's okay, because normally you should, Bharat Darshan means you should see the rest of the places, not in one place. So that is the idea of Bharat Darshan. But it is good that you people had come here and you have been lucky to hear and listen to Swami Purnananda ji. We have been doing this thing almost every year, twice in a year. But first time he has given this type of lecture, because I have been associated also with that. So it is good that, he had that feeling that how this basic philosophy can be linked to the works of the IAS officers, which normally I say how this thing should be done. Now, how many of you have heard about Swami Vivekananda, the Parliament of Religion? And how many? All? But do you know anything more than that? Have you read any book of Swami Vivekananda, at least his lectures, some copies or something? Today I think many of the books have been circulated to you. But have you read anything? Yeah, how many? Just raise your hand. No, I just little bit tell you about that. The Swami Vivekananda, when he had gone there in this Chicago, 1893, at that time, what was the position of India? The whole world used to feel that we are almost savages. We worship snakes on the road. If a snake pass on the road, then we stop, or bodyguards or whatever, and start worshipping. That was the image which was spread about India throughout the world. That was the position. And you may be aware of that famous word, the white man's body. So to develop India was a white man's body. That was the situation. In that position, he had delivered a lecture there, and you all know when he told about that, all the entire crowd, they got up and given him 3 minutes applause. All these persons. So that was the reception he has got. And after that, as Maharaj was telling you, the 4 years he was in USA, and later on in UK and France, and he spread what is the real views of the Hinduism, or he never used the word Hinduism, actually the Sanatana Dharma, which has come from the Vedas, the Veda and Upanishad and all this. And when people say that Upanishad is a negative type of religion, in the sense that people become afraid, people go out of the society and do only for the self moksha. So he said, no. From Upanishad, from every page of Upanishad, I find the courage and strength. And that is what is saying. Now, after his epoch-making trip, he came back to India on 15 January 1897. He reached at Colombo, and from Colombo he came to Chennai, then upwards. Everywhere he got tumultuous welcome. Why did that was the time when India was under the British rule, colonial rule. And the country people were totally vanquished. They lost all their energy. And all his addresses, there is a very famous book, you just read that thing, Lectures from Colombo to Almora. His last lecture was at Almora, in that train, and it started from Colombo. You see the map of India. At that time, Colombo was the last point, the southernmost point, and Almora was the northernmost. So all along it is. You must read that book as a book, forget about the philosophical part of it. You just read at the book. A young man of 30, 32 years, he is telling his countrymen, all the young persons, that this is to be done, that is to be done. This is what has happened. And he has explained everything. It's a fantastic thing. If you just start your imaginations back, you can't imagine a person like almost our age group, a person young sannyasi who was not known to anybody. When he had gone there, he was an unknown monk. So that is the type of person he has got. We, of course, those, once you come to the philosophical level, these are actually the nature or God or whatever you say, they are the instruments of nature to bring up the country. And after Vivekananda, you see all the other great personalities who were born, whether it is Gandhi or Subhash Bose and others, they have all quoted something. They have all said this. Even Gandhi's famous words are there, that my love for country became multiplied 100 times after the reading. What he told all other gods and goddesses are lying, sleeping now. Your only God is your country. And he imagined the country, India, as a goddess. This is a famous, way of describing the things, but he was also very, very practical. What he said is, after 4 years, he started that this is not the way that things can be done. The idea has to be crystallized if we can develop an institutions. And then on the 1st May 1897, so how many years now? It's almost 125 years, 126 is happening now. 125 years, there was a big program throughout the world on this. So 125 years back, 1907, he sort of founded this institution, Ramakrishna Mission. A part of which, and this is also a part of the Ramakrishna order and after we have come here. Now, what was the basic idea? He developed a new system of monks who are not going to the Himalayas, who are not going to the caves and other things. They will remain here, remain in the society and practice this avidya, yet what Maharaj has explained in details, that it is possible to see gods and goddesses in the suffering humanity. And you can serve them. His motto was, Atmana Mokshati Jagat Hitai. Will you remember that? All these sadhus, or for that matter everybody tries to get the self-realization, self-moksha. So that is Atmana Moksha. That is the first part. To realize the first part, Jagat Hitaya, to help the world, to serve the world, is the second part. So these two can be combined. And what was his basic things that he told? And he did it also. That time there was no government help available. First is Khaddadan, which is the food for the people. Particularly during those times, the famines were very common. Different parts, smaller part or larger part, the famines were very common. I'm sure you must have read the Indian history in how it has happened. So Khaddadan was a very important. Today, all the governments, state governments, the central governments, district persons, we are absolutely alert about this. If there is any famine or all these things, you get lot of that. During those days, there was hardly any government responsibility, or they were not concerned about the native people, what was happening and all this. There are some exceptions also. So he started the Khaddada, then Vidyadhana. There was hardly any, development of literacy. You know what was the percentage of literate in those days? It is not even exceeding 10%. 90% were illiterate, most of the places. except in few cities and urban agglomerations. That was the time. So you see, Vidyalaya, a number of schools, small schools are formed. Then Sastradhan, health, basic medicines, basic facilities, basic teaching that cholera was very common, smallpox was very common. Certain basic things that we get in the society. And then of course the Dharmadan. Dharmadan in the sense that the Maharaj has explained that it is not dharma in a particular religious sense, it's more of a spiritual sense that can be done. Atmana moksha jagati. So these are the things which is spreading. And this is still continuing. Many places where you will be collectors and all these things, you may find Ramakrishna mission there. You may not get all the time, you may not get the Swamiji who will be so forthcoming, may not be a philosophical expert, but you can see their activities. See their activities, how they are helping or trying to help. You can be also of some help to them whenever this is concerned. Now, the next one, that is the philosophical aspect, has been already covered, so I am not doing this. In our Upanishad also it says that Isavasyam idam sarvam. God resides in everything. Isavasyam idam sarvam. So that is the philosophy that one has to develop. Whether you like it or not, it is true. It is only the question of realization at a higher level. So what Swamiji has said, what is religion? In any religion you take, even in the highest level of Islam or Christianity, they also realize this thing. Religion is not reading some books or some quotes. It is a realization, whether you realize it or not. So in any form you have to realize this thing. But that is not the duty of an officer when you are serving the government. Your duty is this Khadyadan, Vidyadan, Shastradan which you have told. Forget about the Dharmadan. These three are the works of the government. You will be all with the state government. Now these are the three things which are all the state governments. They every day, day in, day out, they have been telling we are doing this thing, we are doing that thing, we are doing helping the poor, we are helping the people. So we are all parts of the machineries of this country. So if you are convinced that this is our work, so it becomes easier and it becomes adaptable. It becomes, you will also feel happy mentally. You should be okay for you to do this type of work. Now UNESCO, you have all heard about the UNESCO. You are aware of the UNESCO. The UNESCO in 1993, the Federico Mion, DG of UNESCO, he said that I am indeed struck by the similarity of the constitutions of the Ramakrishna mission, which Vivekananda established as early as 1897, with that of UNESCO drawn up in 1945. UNESCO, this was drawn in 1945, and Swamiji's drawn it in 1897. And he's saying, the head of the UNESCO is telling that I am struck by the similarity. Now, what are the similarities? First is, when they are doing this Khadyadan, Vidyadan and all these things, there is no discrimination. No discrimination on the basis of caste, no discrimination on the basis of religion, no discrimination on the basis of sex, whether male or female, or any other part of this. So, in those days, this type of concept was very, very difficult to implement. In many places, as you know, upper caste and lower caste, even they don't allow take the water from one area to other area. Those who are coming from south, you are quite aware of this thing. This was a very serious problem there in this. And other places also, they don't touch. Even there are stories that when a Brahmin priest was going, even the shadow of a lower caste person should not touch or her. So this was the position. Mind you, in those times, they are saying that food has to be distributed to everybody and in the same place and same area. So this was the concept that he explained. The other concept is not only what they are giving the service, in their organizations, you will be amazed to know that among the monks also, there are persons who are born Christian. They have become monks in Ramakrishna. There are persons also who were born Islam. With the Islamic faith they had come and they had become monks in Ramakrishna. Numbers are less, but there are. Then there are persons from all castes, so-called scheduled caste, Achut caste and all these type of things. They have also become the monks in Ramakrishna. So that was the concept. Just imagine how revolutionary, how modern, how fantastic concept that this Swamiji, with, of course, with the blessing of his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna Dev, he has done. And it has been accepted. Accepted by the people, accepted by the whole country, which was such a divisive country. Even now it is divisive, but those days you can imagine, this country has accepted. So this was the position that the mission has tried to follow. Then the other things is, then what is the Ramakrishna modern mission to the common persons? When you go there, nobody will ask you that are you a Hindu, are you a Muslim, are you a Christian? Nobody will ask you which caste you belong to. You can go, enter the temple, you can pay your regards, you can get involved in the activities of the Ramakrishna mission. That is the concept. And again I am telling you that this was done in 1897 and this was accepted by the country, which was so divisive on the basis of religion, on the basis of caste, on the basis of anything. So this is the beauty of the entire concept. And what is our constitution now? Look at the Indian constitutions. We are supposed to safeguard the constitutions. All the IAS officers, you have taken oath also, I believe, that constitutions should have. This constitution also says the same thing. Our constitution also says exactly the same thing. Which the UNESCO, as I said, UNESCO, he was the DG of UNESCO. He had accepted that and he said that he was stuck with the similarity of this. Indian constitutions, which were adopted in 1950, they have also done the same thing. So for all of us who were serving government in some way or other, you see, you don't find any dichotomy in this. These are the concepts, these are the beliefs, and if what Maharaj has told you for a long time, so if this goes into your head, goes into your mind, it will be easier for you to do. So my young friends, I will not take much time, but I will welcome you to this place. Learn, you can go around and see some of the extremely nice facilities that this institution has developed. After having a good lunch here, you can see that. And wherever in your service life, if you have the chance, you have the occasions to visit Ramakrishna Modern Mission, you should do that. And as I said, you read that book, Swamiji's book, from Colombo to Almora, lectures from Colombo to Almora. Lastly, I conclude by C. Rajagopalachari, you know the name of that thing. He was the first Indian Governor General of the independent India, apart from all other. He has told something, I told you what Mahatma Gandhi has said. Now see, Rajagopalachari has said, I just quote, Swami Vivekananda saved Hinduism and saved India. But for him, we would have lost our religion and would not have gained our freedom. We therefore owe everything to Swami Vivekananda. May his faith, his courage and his wisdom ever inspire us so that we can keep safe the treasure we have received from him. Unquote. So this is C. Rajagopalachari. He was one of the, what should I say, the most brilliant politicians that India has produced during those days. You may not agree with his principles and other things, but about his intellectual capacity, the way precisely he could analyze a problem, there is no doubt about that quality. He has said this. And as I said, that this treasure is still there that we have received from Swamiji, and you have come to a place which is actually the treasure house of the Swamiji's ideas and others. In the few minutes visit, you can go around and see, and you can interact with the other sadhus who are here also, and see the library, see the other facilities, and develop yourself also. Attune with those ideas of service. As we said, that whatever will happen in different places and all these things, you have got an opportunity as an IAS officer to serve the country, to serve the poor, to serve the needy, and that opportunity you should not miss. Wish you all the best, wish you a happy new year and a very bright and enjoyable career. You should enjoy whatever you do, you should enjoy it. If you go in the straight way, you should enjoy this. Don't be afraid of taking a decision, provided you are absolutely sure that this is the right decision. And enjoy it. I can tell you, we don't have the time to discuss about the IAS officers, but if you are in the right path, you will really feel that you have served the country and enjoyed your career, and God will bless you. Okay? Thank you.
Professor Bandhavata has told you. So wherever you are, you find one center at least around this place. So kindly contact and renew your ideas. Now the lunch is and also, you remember that we once visited Institute Culture Group in the army stage of our life. You receive all the help that you.
In the beginning they are really blessed. They have learned from you also this thing.
Now, I request any one of you can volunteer to speak a few words on behalf of you all. Anyone? We should give thanks at least. Why not? Once you, brother.
I have seen your papers, there is a leader in your group.
Who is the leader?
So my name is Pratik, I'm the group leader in this group. So I would like to thank you for addressing us, for telling us about the service that Ramakrishna Mission Institute has been doing to our country, to the poor people, and the kind of culture and intellectual activities they pursue. So it's an inspiration for all of us to pursue these activities in the future as well. So you also talked about the service that we should offer to the poor people wherever we serve. So sir, these are very important lessons that we should note down, and we should try to integrate in our services as well, sir. So thank you for the lessons that you have given us.
I tell you only one thing. You will get the joy out of it. Don't think that you are giving the benefit, only they are the beneficiaries. You in turn is the you believe me, I have to spend almost 36 years in IAS and then 4 years in the Central Tribunal. You will enjoy also.
You will become a beautiful and more complete human.
Right, sir.
Yes.
A good work done is never good unpaid. This is excellent.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.